right, so stick close to me, look mean, and pretend you're a mute. Can't have anyone finding out who you actually are.
Geralt of Rivia, the mighty witcher!
Oh, shit.
I haven't seen you since the plague.
Whoa, she turned me into a newt! A newt. Got better. It's alive. It's moving. It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. Oh, in the name of God. Now I know what it feels like to be God.
Release the Kraken.
Greetings, programs and users. It is time once again for another episode of Old Nerds Drinking. This is John Patrick, the Master Control Program. Here with me again for the first time in the studio in a long time is Rojen.
Greetings, all.
Before we get started with today's episode of OND, we're going to talk about what we're drinking, and we have a very special drink.
What are we drinking?
We are drinking. So 2 weeks ago, I went to visit my sister in New Holland.
Oh, no. You went to the New Holland Distillery, didn't you?
I went to the New Holland Distillery. New Holland has a beer barrel bourbon, which is one of my favorite go-to bourbons. That's in my decanter right now. Yeah. That's my everyday bourbon. It's under $30 a bottle, and it tastes delicious. Their premium brand bourbon is called Zeppelin Bend, and it's like $60 a bottle.
You paid slightly more for the one that you showed me, though.
Because this is the Zeppelin Bend single barrel small batch bourbon. This is barrel strength. Yep. Right from their distilleries.
In my opinion, the only way you should drink bourbon is right from the barrel.
Yeah, so this is that, and it was more than $60.
Do you want to reveal how much you paid for this bourbon?
I paid $100 for this bottle.
I thought it was $126.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It was $100. But yes, this is a very, very special Michigan-made bourbon, and we are drinking today for a very, very special reason.
It's a very fitting toast, actually.
So if you are in the Detroit tech scene, or you are in the Detroit podcast scene, there is a good chance you have heard of, ran into the fellas at IT and the D, the IT and the D podcast. They ran networking events for tech people for years, for coders. They were notorious for throwing insane room parties at local cons.
They were really big into the Penguin Con thing, too, weren't they?
They were really big into Penguin Con. It was run by Bob, something super German, like Wollenstein, and Dave Phillips, who was their tech guy, who was their audio guy, did almost all their back-end work. And he passed away last week, very suddenly. He was posted on Facebook that morning, and then I got a call from started getting messages from some of my other podcast friends that he had passed away. So he was a good fellow podcaster and a great fellow drinker. He and I shared many late night Penguicon drinks. So we are drinking this very fine bourbon in your honor, Dave. In a time not of COVID, your wake would be the stuff of legends, and
I believe that too.
Cons aren't going to be the same without you, sir. We miss you. But cheers.
Cheers. That's good.
Yeah, it's got some burn to it, but
I was unexpected on the burn. That actually burned the back of my throat a little bit. But that's good. That's really good.
That's so good. Oh.
Ooh, it needs an ice cube.
I did put a couple of drops of water in to mellow it. But yeah, that is. Ooh, I feel the warm taking over. Mm-hmm. Oh, that is good. This is.
Now that I know what to expect, I'll take another sip, because I almost coughed on that one.
62.5% alcohol by volume, 125 proof.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, this came out of barrel number Malt 14B, and it was selected on August 25th, 2020.
It's got an aftertaste to it that I can't quite pin. Is there something
I'm getting a little smoky on the back of it right now.
I don't know if it's smoky. It's kind of like a woodiness to
Yeah.
it or something. I'm
Yeah.
not sure what it is. It's
You're-
really good.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of the char.
Yeah, post-COVID and post-shot.
Oh, yeah.
Post-COVID and post-shots.
Have you had both your shots?
No, I have had the Moderna vaccine. From what I have read, and according to the CDC, which I'm not going to strictly follow this. From what I understand, if you have had COVID recently and you have the antibodies and you get your first vaccine, it is as effective as 2 vaccines. However, I am still going to go get my second vaccine shot.
Oh, hell yeah. I ain't gonna fuck around with that shit.
Yeah, I'm going to be super ultra ready to fucking kick COVID's ass again because I do not want to go through this again.
I just got my first shot yesterday, and other than feeling a little tired yesterday, which side effect, if one of your side effects includes taking a 3-hour nap, I am all for that side effect. Sign me up for that side effect. And feeling a little sore today, I'm completely fine.
I had sore muscles in the morning, and just general tiredness. When I got it and the wife got it, we were both sitting around watching. I think we were sitting around watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, and she looks over and she goes, "I'm not feeling okay." And I'm like, "Uh-oh." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I was starting to feel like I was getting high. And I'm thinking, man, I paid money for this, because it felt like I was getting high off of an edible. And I didn't say anything. So we had minor symptoms that were annoying, but nothing anywhere near as bad as what COVID was.
Right.
So we were prepared for the worst. I think what it was is because we had already had COVID. So when we got the shot, my body was like, oh, okay, we know what this is. We can deal with this. That's why a lot of people, when they get the shot, their second shot is so much worse because the first shot programs your body to fight it.
Mm-hmm.
And the second shot, your body goes, oh shit, this is what we've been trained for, guys. And your body thinks it's going to war. So you get all the crazy symptoms and then your body realizes, oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is false alarm, guys. Calm down. And then that's, whereas with us, I think we got off a lot easier. But me and you both got Moderna, right? You got Moderna?
Yeah, I got Moderna.
Yeah, from what I understand, that's the least of the crazy side effect of the shots.
Well,
so.
I did get a 10-minute lecture from my crazy mother-in-law about how the vaccine was going to give me brain damage.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
You're going to love this. China released the virus so that Russia could engineer the vaccine that would make Americans weak, and then Russia could take over the world. Because we love my mother-in-law.
You know what?
But she's crazy.
Let it go. I've got family members that have told me I have the mark of the beast. That I've been microchipped.
I have everybody keeps asking me how my Wi-Fi reception's getting, but you know what? I was out today at a friend's house, and I wasn't getting shit for signal in his basement. So I got to get my implant checked because. Man, my Wi-Fi signal was just not good.
Yeah, the 5G, I haven't really noticed. I think we were sold a bad bill of goods.
Yeah.
I was expecting like really great porn once we got the shot, and it really just has not delivered yet. So I'm a little upset by it. The other one I heard was it's going to make you sterile, and I'm like smacking my arm, going, "Come on, let's do this shit!"
Oh yeah, I'm down to clown on that one.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm kind of bummed out. I think the Illuminati really let us down on this one.
I am slightly more inclined to swear my unserving allegiance to Cobra, but that's the only thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm a little let down by. I mean, if the most I got out of this was not catching a virus again that could potentially kill me, like it almost did last time, I'm kind of bummed. I was hoping for a lot more.
No shit. I see pictures of everybody in the internet with their little stickers. I got the vaccine.
Yeah.
I didn't get a sticker.
No, I didn't.
I didn't get a sucker.
No.
It's like nothing. All I got was the stupid vaccine that prevents
a little
me.
piece of paper. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Kind of bummed.
I am going to. When I get my shot next time, I'm going to stand outside my doctor's office for like an hour afterwards, just handing suckers to people.
I was really hoping that when I got this shot, I wouldn't have to carry my phone around anymore so I could be tracked, or my Amazon habits couldn't be tracked, or my Facebook habit. But now, I still have to do all that stuff. I was really hoping the shot would take care of that. It's a convenience thing. I mean, nobody wants to carry this shit around. I just wanted to get microchipped and be done with it and not have to worry about it.
I will say, though, that the tracking on Facebook is getting pretty good, because you posted the article about the Harmony Gold Way Out West lawsuit finally getting settled.
Mm-hmm.
And within like half an hour of me reading those articles and like looking for all the information on it, because I really that's something I've been jonesing on for a long time, Facebook started popping up ads to me for Macross model kits.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there is times where the tracking on Facebook is actually pretty damn good. It does work to your favor. But I've got apps on my computer that prevent all that stuff from popping up on my computer.
Yeah. So in a few weeks, I will be receiving a Roy Falker Macross Super Veritech
Yeah, of course you will.
model kit that you will either be in the plain mode or you can turn it out to the Guardian mode. It won't do the full Battleoid because it's got the Super Veritech rocket boosters on the back. It's got the missile pods on the wings. It looks fucking amazing.
You shouldn't edit this out. Leave it in.
I'm totally leaving this in.
Leave it in. Are you getting an SDF-1? Do they make an SDF-1 model kit?
I have not seen it yet, but if they make one, holy shit, am I getting an SDF-1?
That would be like on the scale of a Gundam model, I would assume, like the big Gundam models.
Oh,
if
yeah,
it wouldn't be doing justice to the show.
No.
You'd have to have you'd have to have a massive SDF-1 model.
That and they just showed me an ad today for the Star Wars Black Series Wedge Antilles replica helmet, and I need that in my life.
You don't need that in your life.
Screw you.
Dude, okay.
Like, first of all, if there is one person, one character in the Star Wars universe that I ship more than anyone else, it is Wedge Antilles.
You know
the
what I want for
greatest
you?
starfighter pilot in the galaxy.
What I want for you more than anything in life, what I wish in a perfect world, if I were tremendously rich and I could like be the guy that goes out and takes care of people, I would buy you a massive studio apartment to display the immense amount of shit that you just have laying around here. You know, because it's like you see the shows with the hoarders and all that stuff. You are the geek equivalent to hoarders.
Yeah.
Like you walk into your basement, like people that are listening right now, I can't even begin to describe the immense amount of just geek shit that's, I don't even know where to start. Warhammer books, rule books, tanks, modeling. I mean, this stuff is all great. The downside is you don't it's just thrown everywhere, which pisses me off personally. Because it's like you have a shrine to amazing geekdom here, and it's just sitting everywhere. Like, man.
I'm literally don't have enough spare wall space to put more shelves in.
I know. So when you say you want to buy the Wedge Antilles helmet, I get that. It's cool. I understand it. I'm here for you. I love you. I would do the same thing if I wasn't married and my wife wouldn't castrate me. But if you get it, it's just going to sit over with your swordfish model from Cowboy Bebop. It's going to sit on the shelf collecting dust right next to the
oh no, sir. No, sir.
Y-wing fighter model that you have sitting there.
Because the advantage of that helmet is it has built-in speakers. It can function as a headset, because you better damn well believe that I will wear that as my recording headset when we do shows.
Okay. So what I think you should do is go out and buy a scooter, because you were talking about buying some kind of a good scooter, and you should wear the Wedge Antilles helmet, Bluetoothed into your phone so you can listen to music while you're twiddling around town on your Vespa.
Yeah, and the Vespa is white, so I can put like some X-Wing decals on it. Oh.
I can't knock Vespas because a very good friend of mine rode a Vespa for a long time before she got an Indian.
Yeah, it's not an actual Vespa. It's just in the style of a Vespa.
Which means it probably goes about 25 miles an hour.
Which is perfect.
Anyways.
So, I fully admit that my nerd cave, I wish I had better space to display it.
Better space.
Yeah.
English, do you speak it? Go ahead.
I wish I had more space and better space to display a lot of the things I have, because I have like a lot of really unique things. My vintage Hawaiian hula girl, my first editions of my first edition collection, some of my vintage pipes and liquor ephemera that I collect. I was reading that book I've mentioned a couple of times, Wonderland, How Play Built America, or How Play Built the World. And they talk about in there the concept of the Cabinet of Curiosities, which is I read that in the book, and then I went looking on the internet for it, and there's a Wikipedia article, and it's Cabinet of Curiosities, also known as German as Kunstkabinett, Kunstkammer, Wunderkammer, also Cabinet of Wonders or Wonder Rooms, were collections of notable objects. The term, we know where cabinet comes from. Cabinets of curiosities serve not only as collections to reflect a particular curiosity of their curators, but as social devices to establish and uphold rank in society. So it's basically gentlemen of the era would have these private collections of junk they've amassed from their travels of gentlemanly leisure, and they would display them in their homes. And when you think about it, nerds do the same thing.
Yes.
Like, we all have our little display areas in our home of, like, movie memorabilia that we collect, or the guys who collect the really fancy statuettes of, like, superhero characters.
You've seen my upstairs.
Oh, yeah, you have all those model kits.
I've got every Enterprise, Starship Enterprise. I've got every version of the Starship Enterprise upstairs in my I've got 2 rooms upstairs. Once the kids moved out, I took over the upstairs. One room has become my game room, which I have yet to use, which has got all that stuff in it. And then the other room has got I have a large collection of books on magic and occult and paranormal, and I've also got the other side of the room, which is all of my model kits from like Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, the Black Hole,
Buck the Black Hole?
Oh yeah, I've got a Vincent model that I haven't. I've got a Maximilian model, which I don't know if you saw. Remember Maximilian?
Oh yeah.
I've got a Vincent one that I have yet to build. I've got a C-3PO one up there. I've got all of the Enterprises. I've got. There's even a Voyager model up there. What else do I got? I've got all kinds of really unique, just weird model kits. I don't build models anymore because I don't have the time, which I should make the time for. It's actually very therapeutic and relaxing.
Yeah, I've got a couple of kits sitting on the shelf that I really need to build.
And then my brewing stuff is scattered all around the room. I've got all my brewing carboys and all my mead making stuff and junk in there. I really need to clean that room up. But like up until this point, till the kids moved out, all of my stuff was just kind of like this basement. It was just thrown everywhere. So it's nice to actually have a real I'm starting to get a buzz off of this. I'm feeling it. It's nice to have a place just to display your shit. Because I'm one of those people as well that collects off-the-wall stuff. And also when I go on trips, but this stuff I don't display. I always have like little things that I go on trips that have value and meaning to me to pull me back to that place again.
Right.
So,
I just finally got my tax return, and I'm looking at IKEA IKEA display shelves for my miniature collections, because I hate the fact that all my really nicely painted miniatures are now packed away in foam and storage, and if I move that stuff back, then all the places where they are in the basement become empty, and I can re-put stuff in new places. But I also am looking at getting a cabinet because I want my own kind of cabinet of curiosities.
I would argue, now that I put a little bit of thought into this, I would argue that this concept of the cabinet of curiosities has essentially become the modern day equivalent to a man cave, which I hate that term. I hate the term man cave. I really I don't know why I don't like it. I just don't like it.
I prefer the more colloquial nerd cave, which is what
nerd cave is fine.
Yeah, I refer to this as my nerd cave.
That is a very appropriate term for this place. I mean, I mean,
yeah,
it is a very appropriate term for it. But I think this is something that should make a comeback, and it doesn't necessarily have to be just a guy thing, because I know lots of married couples that do sort of like this.
Oh yeah, and I was reading an article that Hasbro is re-releasing like some of the 1980s Ghostbusters, the animated series toys.
Mm-hmm.
And as a throwaway line in the article, they said, because it's easier to sell toys to 40-something nostalgia people than it is to try and pry kids away from their screens to get them to play with them. And yeah, that is totally true. But yeah, I know people who Lego makes all those kind of sculpture series Legos now. One of their new kits coming out is the Space Shuttle Discovery, and oh my god, do I want it!
You want everything.
Well, yes, because
pretty much every day you post on Facebook with the term "I have a mighty need," and it's always something, you know.
Oh yeah.
So, but the difference is the cabinet of curiosities. These are things that people would gather in their travels around the world and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm not adverse to. Like, me and you have talked many times about doing certain road trips that are of our interest.
I found a couple of good new ones we can talk about.
Yeah, and that would be like there's a museum that me and you talked about going to, you know, and that would be something like I would go and get something. Like, I've been to Ironwind Metals several times. Ironwind Metals is who makes the miniatures for the BattleTech game. If anybody out there plays BattleTech. And I love going to that little factory down there. A, because it's run by a bunch of pothead bikers, which you would not expect going to a geek gamer-oriented kind of place. Everybody that works there all ride Harleys. They all look like Tommy Chong. And you walk in there and you're like, these are the guys that are making the miniatures for the game that I've been playing since I was like 14 years old. And they're all like Tommy Chong. They're all like, yeah, dude, you want some miniatures? Let's go over there and grab a mold. And, I'll cast them for you and I'll build them up for you. And you're like, are you in the right building, sir? Like, because when I was in high school, you were the guys that were trying to beat my ass, but I like going there, and like when I leave there, I always try to get something special from that place, of some kind to be like, yeah, I got this from Ironwind Metals or something like that. Or
yeah.
Like geeks, when we go to Gen Con, every geek buys some kind of dice to commemorate them going to some kind of a convention or something like that.
I tell you what, that is something I have been looking a while, is some kind of display for displaying dice.
Oh my God. Really? Wow.
No, because it's kind of a thing in the miniature community. I don't know so much in the other communities.
I will say there is some really cool... When we and you were... Well, I mean, I'm older than you, so when I was growing up, like, you got solid color D&D dice.
Right.
They were white, yellow, blue, and that was it. And then came, like, the cool melded colors, and then now you can get dice with, like, sperm, like little swimming sperm in them, or skulls, or...
But in the miniature community, it's kind of a thing because we use a lot of D6s. People will get custom D6s made, and they'll trade them. So, like, if you go to a con, the con might have a special D6 that has the logo of the con on the 6. In Blood Bowl tournaments, like, that is a common thing. If you go to the tournament, they'll have a special D6 for the tournament, and that's part of, like, your swag pack.
Mm-hmm.
I've looked into getting custom dice made, so when I go to cons, I can trade them with people.
Mm-hmm.
But so I have like a tackle box that's full of D6s that I would really like to display, because each of them is from, like, oh yeah, this is from this miniature painter who I met at a con and he gave me some of his D6s, or this is a streamer who streams and I won a set of his custom dice as a stream prize.
Mm-hmm. This reminds me of, if you ever go to Disney World or Disneyland, they have these pins.
The pin swaps.
The pin swaps, yeah, or the honor coins. You ever heard about the honor coins?
Yeah, challenge coins.
Challenge coins. That's what I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it kind of reminds me of, and it's very fitting for our community.
Yeah.
Now that you say it, it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, and there's a couple of companies that it's reason, like, I've priced it out, and to get 500 D6s made, it goes down to about 50 cents a die. So you're talking in the neighborhood of a couple $100.
We should have O&D dice made.
I have thought about that.
We should have O&D dice made, and we give those out to very specific people for very specific special occasions.
I have thought of that.
I hate to say we, because it's more your show than mine, but we do have a growing fan base of listeners that is growing exponentially well. And it would be nice, because we've talked about doing, like, an O&D salute to very special, like tonight would have been an occasion we did an O&D salute if we had one. And that would be something that would be like for very like special, outstanding members of the O&D community or something like that. Here's our dice,
Yeah.
Here's one of our dice.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's definitely something that's on my radar. Also, Pogs.
Oh my God! Wow, man, I don't know about that
because Pogs are
making. I feel like you're crossing a line now.
Apparently, Pogs are making a comeback.
Wow.
Because some streamer talked about them, and now all the, like, young kids who have no idea what the fuck Pogs are super into Pogs.
There are some things in the world that are a bad idea. I feel Pogs coming back are a bad idea.
Oh no! So there is a.
You know what? I just got another idea. Me and you should have custom miniatures made of ourselves. I mean, not to sound arrogant or vain, but yeah, because I could totally see yours with the bath robot holding the drink,
I can't. There is a person in the miniature community who is specifically known as Bathrobe Guy.
Yeah, but the thing is, your loophole is you're a dudist. You're a member of the Church of the Dude.
Yeah.
Which is something that I need to join. I need to join that. I also need the Church of the Subgenius. There's several religious organizations that I need to become.
You're just going to whore yourself out to any religion that'll take you.
Well, one can never have too many saviors.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We all have to start looking into the Onion Head religion now.
The Onion Head religion. I'm already a member of the Church of the Divine Lobster. Our Lord and Savior.
Our Lord and Savior.
Yes. The Onion Head. Yeah, the Onion Head one. Briefly, if nobody knows, I won't dwell on this, but John recently appeared on my show. We did a show called The Return of Biblical Jackass, which was a show that dealt with people doing stupid things in the name of religion. And one of the things we talked about on there was this healthcare organization that created a creature called Onion Head, and everybody was required to worship Onion Head to be able to work at this organization. And it was really weird and really bizarre. So, you can find that on Project Archivist if you want to. But John was on that show. It was great. It was a fun show.
On the subject of that, there was an article I sent you. If we ever do Biblical Jackass again, it was boyfriend leaves girlfriend after he saw her drinking alcohol on a Bible study Zoom.
Really, compared to the things that we covered, that's kind of minor.
It's kind of minor, but
minor.
As one drinker to another, hey baby, how you do? But yeah, so I wonder if she's on Christian Mingle or Tinder right now, because the other thing is Queen Elizabeth is back on the market.
Yep, she is. Yep. Listen to you. You're way more into this than I am.
Okay, first of all, the royal family is worth somewhere in the tune of $10 to $20 billion between the crown, their financial holdings, their land holdings.
Wait a minute. Let's get this out in the open. So you're saying that you would bang the queen in her current state right now?
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow. I'm not even sure if I could get an erection to be able to pull that off. It doesn't matter how much. I would die from Viagra overdose before I was able to get an erection to be able to tap that dustbin.
Second of all,
and he's still going.
Because when that would make me the prince consort. I can't be the king, but I can be the prince consort. That would give me the authority over so much in England. I know
where you're going with this, because Games Workshop is a British company.
Oh, yeah.
So,
to be honest, I wasn't thinking about that, but now that you bring it up.
Yes. You're taking the long route to get to the seat of power. I understand now.
I just want to be able to feel that I can make the Knights of the Realm do pretty much whatever I want. Because there was a video where David Attenborough was answering question from Prince Harry's kids. Or not Prince Harry, Prince William. Yeah, Will's kids. And it's like, man, can I call up the knight? If I'm the king, can I call up the Knights in the Realm and make them like just do shit for me? Can I like call up Elton John and be like, hey, can you pick up my dry cleaning? Or can you come and let's do karaoke at the house?
You'd be able to tell Patrick Stewart what to do, because Patrick Stewart is knighted. And
Ian McKellen.
Yeah, and also, oh God, the guy who played Silence of the Lambs. I can't believe I'm forgetting his name.
Dennis Hopper. Pay attention, folks, because this part's going to come up in a few seconds, and I'm going to be super wrong.
No, not Dennis Hopper. Oh my God, he played Odin in Thor.
Yeah.
Why can't I remember his name? I'm having a stroke right now. I can't remember. You know who I'm talking about.
Sir.
Yeah, you got to put Sir in, because Sir will help you remember. But
right.
You know, it's Anthony Hopkins.
I said Anthony Hopkins.
No, you didn't.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Did you say Anthony
I
Hopkins?
said Anthony Hopkins.
Okay, this is where you rewind it in the edit, and you do the rewind sound effect, and you actually say it, and then I go, oh yeah, you did say Anthony Hopkins.
I did say Anthony Hopkins.
Okay.
I did not, in fact, say Anthony Hopkins.
I don't know what. I blame the bourbon. I blame the pure strength barrel bourbon. Yes. But yeah, you could do that. I guess. I mean,
let me tell you, in the early COVID era,
you're such a whore. You really are.
Anthony Hopkins posted TikTok videos of him playing the piano for his cat. And it was the purest, most joyful thing I had ever seen, and it just melted my heart. Anthony Hopkins, like the dude from Silence of the Lambs, playing the piano for his cat.
I get that you're trying to change the subject from the fact that you would bang the queen right now. And
I'm
not going to let that go.
Nope.
I think we're stuck on that. I can't.
You always see those Facebook memes. It's like, oh, would you slap your cousin for $5 million? I am a cheap whore.
So what if you're banging the queen and you find out she's like really into the submissive dom stuff, and she's like she's the dom? I guess you would totally be submissive for the queen. I guess you would be if you're. Yeah, you've already stated since you're doing it.
We can rewind back to the net worth of the Windsor family as $10 to $20 billion.
Man, I don't know. I couldn't do it.
And the fact that even her husband of
Darth Sidious.
Yeah, well, I mean, Prince Philip was actually a gentleman a gentleman. He was a good guy. He, as far as we know, he didn't disappear any dead hookers.
You know that
from
you're going to
Buckingham
get
Palace.
a million emails about this now.
No, just
this
one.
Is all you opening yourself up.
No, just one. Max, I'm sorry. I love you, honey, but if anybody's gonna school me on the royal family, it's gonna be Max.
It would be Max. It truly would be.
So I invite her to school me as much as you want. But
do you even think that that's still functional anymore? Do you even think her plumbing still works? No. Why are we thinking about this? There's a lot of people that are hitting the stop button on this podcast right now.
Abort! Abort!
$10 to $20 billion.
I get that even if you had a small portion of that to play with. I get it. I get that still, even if it were a 10%
okay,
of that.
let's do some.
You would have a room in the royal palace to be able to display all of this shit.
Oh, are you kidding? No.
And
I'm going to leave
you
this.
were royalty. You could go to Games Workshop and be like, "Hi, I'm motherfucking royalty. You're giving me that shit." And they'd be like,
dude.
"Ugh."
No, I'm going to go to the Royal Armory in Leeds, and I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm going to. Can we, some of this stuff you've got in the back? How about we just display this Buckingham Palace? Because I know for a fact they've got J.R. Tolkien's Webley pistol from when he served in World War I.
Of course, that's totally you. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have that on display.
I could totally see the Queen sitting on your face and smothering you just so you could get access to that pistol.
Yeah, Charles Darwin's Howdah pistol.
I apologize for everybody who's gagging right now. I'm trying not to throw up.
Yeah, there is.
You better leave this in the show.
Oh, this is staying in the show.
You better leave this conversation in the show.
So Queen Elizabeth, if you're listening, how you doing?
How did we get into this conversation? Where are we going next? Because I think we've taken this to its logical conclusion that, have you watched Invincible yet?
No, I have not.
Invincible is excellent. It really, I was not expecting that show to be as good as it is at all. It is really good. There's a lot of good voice work in that show.
I never read the comics.
Neither did I.
So
it is dark, it is brutal, but it is a very good show, and I'm definitely on board with it. I threw it on as background stuff while I was editing one of my podcasts, and then I found myself watching the show more than I was doing the editing. And I do highly recommend going out and watching it.
I still need to go back and watch season 2 of The Boys.
Boys was okay. Boys was all right. I guess this would be a good time to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier.
This would be the perfect time to talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Where do you... Okay, spoiler alert, folks.
So
spoiler alert. If you have not watched Falcon and Winter Soldier yet, you know where this is going.
Before, with Mandalorian, with WandaVision, we waited until the show was done to do a spoilerific episode that was a wrap-up of the whole show. After watching the most recent episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 4, no, we gotta talk about this shit. We gotta talk about this shit right now. So if you have not watched that show, you need to watch that show right now.
Go watch it, come back.
Because things happen, and we really need to talk about them.
Well, you lead off, and I'll follow on your lead then.
So, to catch up, it's episode 4. So there's the new Captain America, John Walker. They're trying to find the Flag Smashers, who are a kind of organization that are people who did not disappear in the blip and are now upset because everybody's come back and is trying to undo all the good that was done while the blip went on.
Yeah, because when the blip happened, the world kind of joined together.
Yeah.
Everybody did what they had to do to get by. Everybody helped each other out. You know, the world actually worked together. And then when everybody came back, then government started to reform. Countries absorbed other countries. A lot of people were just left behind or misplaced or whatever you want to call it.
And it's revealed that these Flag Smashers have obtained super soldier serum.
Mm-hmm.
So Falcon and Winter Soldier, Falcon and Bucky team up to bust Baron Zemo out of prison so they can learn his Hydra secrets and figure out who made the super soldier serum. And in the meantime, John Walker, Captain America, and his sidekick, Battlestar,
who actually wasn't a bad guy.
No,
he did like that character.
Sadly, he was a really good guy.
Yeah.
And he fulfilled the role of Captain America's sidekick, somebody
Very
to watch
well.
his back.
Yeah. He was the counterbalance. Like, because there was a few times where he would call he would call Walker out and be like, dude, this isn't a good idea. We should do this. We should do that.
Yeah.
He was kind of like the Jiminy Cricket. He was as conscious. And that's why I liked the character. He was kind of the offset to keep his shit together. Because you can see Captain America starting to slip and go weirder and weirder as time goes on.
So as the episodes go on, he was picked because he was like a 3-time Medal of Honor recipient. Yeah. He was a soldier. He had an illustrious career, but you see his facade crack, that he is not Steve Rogers. And over those episodes, you have Zemo telling people basically that, yeah, Steve Rogers was like the fluke, and nobody should have the super soldier serum because nobody is worthy of having that responsibility. Mm-hmm. And we see at the end of episode 3, they are tracking down the Flag Smashers, and they're in Latvia.
As soon as they mentioned Latvia, I'm like, that's Dr. Doom's country.
Yeah, so that is a big throw out that we may see Doom start to kind of rear his ugly head. But also, it reveals that the Dora Milaje from Wakanda are aware that Zemo is out and so not happy about it. We pick up in episode 4, and they're trying to track down the Flag Smashers, and the Dora Milaje give Bucky 8 hours before they just tell him flat out, we're taking Zemo back. And the America crew, we'll call it, of Captain America, Battlestar, Falcon, and Bucky, and Zemo have tracked down the Flag Smashers, and they're going to go try and reason with them. So Falcon's going to go in there because he's done soldier counseling. He knows how to talk to people and kind of get to them. And he goes in, and he's talking to the leaders of the Flag Smashers, and he's getting through to her. And while that's happening in another room,
Cockblocker walks in and destroys everything.
Cockknocker. John Walker starts just getting antsy. Like he can't deal with it.
Yeah, he's very impatient. My wife pointed that out too. She's like, that's another thing. He uses a gun. Captain America never used a gun. There were several times.
No. Remember, in
the original World War I version of Captain America, but things were different back then.
Yeah, and if you notice, he is using a 1911 pistol, the exact same style of pistol that Steve Rogers used. It's a modern 1911, but it's still a 1911.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, he starts to crack more and more and more.
And eventually he just shits the bed and goes in there, and everybody starts kung fu fighting. Mm-hmm. And he kind of gets his ass handed to him. And so the Flag Smashers escape. The America boys go back to Zemo's hideout, and they're arguing, and all of a sudden the Dora Milaje show up, like 4 of them. Mm-hmm. And John Walker is trying to, be, hey, I'm Captain America. And they're like, yeah, we really don't give a shit. And then he tells them that they don't have jurisdiction there. And they tell him, yeah, we don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
And of course it devolves into, he tries to touch one of them, and the throwdown begins. And he gets his ass handed to him by the Dora Milaje.
And then he sits there and he looks off, and he goes, they weren't even super soldiers.
Yeah, they were not.
Which is important because he gets a vial of the super soldier serum, and he takes it.
Yes.
And he asks his sidekick, he's like, if you had the soldier serum, would you take it? And the guy says, I don't know, man, I probably would, or whatever,
Now, it's also fun to point out that while the Dora Milaje and Captain America and Falcon and Winter Soldier all start fighting, Zemo's in the room and just kind of casually walks. He's like backing away. He's backing away to the bathroom, closes the door to the bathroom. You hear the bathroom door you hear the bathroom door click, and then when they're all done fighting, they go into the bathroom, and he's opened a secret escape hatch and got away because they were all fighting.
I really like Zemo. The shiny thing of this series so far, if anything, is how they really fleshed the Zemo character out. And if they follow the course, which I think they will, and they made hint to it, when they put the Thunderbolts team together, Zemo was the leader of the Thunderbolts team.
Right.
And he would be a great leader for that team. He's got the best one-liners. Like when he pulls up in the car and it's all like that fucking sports goes, it's a turbo, you know? Like they show him in the like there was that thing going out there that the fans demanded the extended cut of him dancing in the nightclub, you know,
doing the native dance of the Caucasian people.
Yeah, you know, like I like Zemo.
All I want in life is to look as cool in a trench coat as Zemo does in the trench coat as he's just like walking around.
And the other thing, like, he doesn't fuck, like, he just, and there's several scenes where he just walks in with a gun and boom, blows them away. He doesn't fuck around. He doesn't try to go, like, and he's there to get that job done.
He is very true to his purpose.
Yes.
That he does not believe anybody deserves the super soldier serum. He's
just not into superheroes.
Yeah. So when in episode 2, when they come across the guy, or 2 or 3, when they come across the guy who refigured out the super soldier serum, Bucky and Falcon are interrogating him. Zemo walks up and just caps him in the head.
Yeah, no, just boom, does it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, he's like, nope. And then he encounters the leader of the Flag Smashers, and she has the last remaining vials of the super soldier serum, and he is just flat out smashing him on the ground with his boot. And he misses one, and that's what John Walker gets.
Like, his character is so well defined, and he's got such a personality. Like, that is such an extension in how well, and I think it also goes to say of how good the guy is into the character and how good of an actor he is.
Right.
Like, he is that. It's like Tony Stark. You know, he is that character.
God put Robert Downey Jr. on this earth to be Tony Stark.
Yeah. And I love the Zemo character. Like, I hope at the end of this, like, I hope he makes it out of this in one piece and alive, because I want to see more of it. Another thing is they go into a lot more depth, which they did in the movie, but they go into way more depth as to why he does what he does. They explain why he's rich, and like, oh, you're rich? He goes, yeah, I was a baron until you guys fucked up my country.
Yeah.
You know, and he's just, but he's like, he's not a dick. He's not evil to be evil. He's got reasons behind what he does, and he's very passionate about what he does.
Yeah.
You know, he's not doing what he's doing to like be this grand mastermind, rule the world kind of person. And I really like what they've done with them. I really, in general, what Disney has done with these series thus far, everything that they've done so far is gold. The WandaVision show was gold. This one, it took me a little bit to get into it, but I wasn't worried about it because it's such a shift in gears.
And the interesting thing is, I didn't find this out till I watched one of the Easter egg videos about it. Apparently, they had to reshoot a big portion of the show because one of the main subplots originally was when everybody came back from the blip, there was an outbreak of some disease. And
because they were talking about vaccines and stuff, and all of a sudden that all kind of went away. Right.
So when COVID happened, they were like, this is a little too close to home, which I'm kind of sad about. I think it still would have played. I get why they did it. Yeah.
They had to play safe. And on top of that, they covered it up very well.
Yeah.
Like, if you weren't really paying attention and somebody didn't point it out, you probably would have went over, you probably would have slipped over that, you know?
And it's like a lot of, somebody will stand up and turn away from the camera, and then they're espousing some fact, and it's because they had to redo a line, and this way they don't. That's how they covered it up.
It's okay. That's fine. I get it. I'm not worried about that.
So we have another encounter with the Flag Smashers in episode 4, and they're trying to escape. John Walker shows up and shits the bed, and you find out that he in fact took the super soldier serum. He starts bending metal and throwing people around, and in the fight,
Falcon looks at him and goes, "What did you do?"
Yeah, but what happens is somebody is going to, I think, knife him in the back, and Battlestar jumps in, and the leader of the Flag Smashers just hits him once. He flies across the room,
breaks his back,
and he's just instantly dead.
Yeah.
He got hit by a superhuman, and it sucks because he was a cool character, and he was definitely like the conscience. But I'm going to tell you right now, as soon as they introduced him, I'm like,
that's what I told him. He said the same thing. Yeah. I'm like, he's going to die. He's
not
dead.
Yeah, he's not making it
he's
out of it.
He's got a red shirt on.
As soon as I saw Battlestar, I'm like, he's not making it out of this series alive. And he didn't.
Yeah.
And that pushed John Walker over the edge.
And I think that's one of the reasons why they made him such a cool character and so well balanced, is so when he does die, you feel that. Yeah. You feel like, oh man.
So John loses his shit, and one of the Flag Smashers is escaping out, and he corners him in a public square and beats him to death with the shield in front of an entire crowd of people, using the shield as kind of like a guillotine, but they don't show him being beheaded, just smashing the edge of the shield on this dude's head. And the last scene of the episode is him with the shield on his arm, and the whole bottom like third of it is just gore.
I was wondering if he actually cut his head off.
Yeah, they did not show that.
Well, they showed the guy sitting there with his head still on his head still on his body,
And then just repeated things of John Walker smashing him, and then just a whole crowd of people, all with cell phone cameras.
Yeah.
And it's
I
like,
wish they hadn't showed him with the head on the body. I wish they would have just left it alone and implied, because it's Disney, they have to do that.
Yeah.
But I wish they would have just left it alone and implied that he cut his head off.
So, when we did our Mandalorian wrap-up, I said the most brutal thing Disney had ever shown was Boba Fett beating stormtroopers to death with the gaffy stick, and their helmets cracking like eggshells, until Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and John Walker just beat somebody to death with the Captain America shield.
I have also noticed that they are pretty liberal with the use of the word shit. Have you not noticed that?
Yeah.
Which I was unexpected. I didn't really expect that.
Because in PG-13, you can say shit as much as you want. You cannot say fuck more than once.
I get that, but this is Disney we're talking about. Disney likes to play the safe card.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. This is their bread and butter. They have kids watching these shows. It's a superhero show. And I was really surprised. Like, that's one of the things that surprised me about this show is how dark it is. How dark that they've gone with it. And how...
Yeah. Now,
like,
I had heard that... I originally thought this was supposed to be 10 episodes, but somebody told me this is only going to be like 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's not... Well, Loki is supposed to be 6. I don't know how many Falcon... You know what? I'll look it up right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, I can't wait for Loki. They dropped another trailer for it, and it just makes me want to see it even more. Oh, shit.
6 episodes until April 23rd. It's just on 6 episodes. We're halfway through. The 3 episodes in now.
No, we're 4 episodes in.
4 episodes. There's 2 more episodes to go. So you know that he gets the shield back, because you see in the previews where he's throwing the shield into the tree and stuff like that. Right now, I really feel that Bucky is going to end up with the shield. I really feel that he's going to be the Captain America. I think Falcon's going to get it back and say, you know what, you were Steve's sidekick. You were the one that, you have the same values as, even though Bucky does things differently.
Right.
Because now, even though he's not programmed anymore, you'll notice he doesn't have that brutal kill people mentality. Like, he's not trying to kill people. He's trying to do the right thing and do what he can. And I don't think Falcon obviously doesn't want the shield. Mm-hmm. So I think he's just going to say, Bucky, this is yours.
Yeah, it's...
And they're going to become like the buddy cop, where they're friends, but they're not friends, but they're
that's
bros,
that's the thing is, as the shows progressed, it showed Falcon siding, like, more and more empathizing with the Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like we could see a point where he kind of just goes off on his own, because I mean he's still technically a military officer.
Yeah. Because he works for the Air Force.
Right.
Yeah.
So I could see him just cutting ties with the military and becoming like a superhero at large.
But I don't see him being Cap. Even though he was in the comic books, I think we'll have a moment where he'll...
And that's the thing, is both Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Bucky, have been Captain America at some point in comic history.
That's one of the things this show has done really well, is when they pulled the other guy out, oh god, I can't remember what his name was, but they showed him in an earlier episode, the old guy that Bucky took him to visit.
Yeah, they just named him as Isaiah.
Yeah, they had Isaiah, and Isaiah was Captain America in the comic books for a little while, and then U.S. Soldier, who is eventually who the guy that's Cap now becomes. He becomes U.S. Soldier, which I think he will end up in the Flag Smashers too. But all of these people that have paid Cap, they're paying tribute to them in neat little cool ways.
Right.
I think that we're going to get a little bit of Falcon with the shield, flying around with the shield, with the wings and stuff on, like in the comic book. But I don't think, and if I'm wrong, I'm completely fine with this. I'm fine with either one of them being Captain America. But I have a feeling it's going to end up as Bucky is going to be the one that ends up doing it for the most part. But there's so many things about this show too. Like, it really fleshes out, like the Bucky character, it really fleshes him out. It fleshes out like Like before, he was kind of one-dimensional guy that's programmed. Now he's unprogrammed. Now
Yeah.
we see him in battle, and that's the end of Bucky. Now we're seeing like the aftermath is okay. I did all this stuff. I have to deal with. all this.
So I've also heard. So another thing that we deal with in the show is, the person who funded the super soldier serum being remade was this shadowy figure who's only referred to as the power broker. And he is supposedly the ruler of Madripoor, which in Black Panther, the scene where they go to the casino's in Madripoor, which is in the Philippine Islands, but it's an independent city-state, and it's ruled by this person that's the shadow, or the power broker.
Mhm.
And I've heard theories that the shadow broker is the
Sharon.
is the Mandarin.
Ooh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, so Sharon,
That would be a great.
Worked-
Marvel would do something
Yeah.
like that to
Now-
introduce a character leading into whatever the fuck his name
Shang-Chi
is.
and the Seven Rings.
Yeah, Shang-Chi that I
Or the
really don't
10
give a
Rings.
shit about.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's implied that Sharon works for the power broker, but not that she is the power broker. And the idea is that the power broker may be the Mandarin, which would totally make sense. Everything about the Mandarin is he's the guy behind the scenes. He's the guy pulling the strings. He is not out there in front. He's working through his agents. He's working through the army of the Ten Rings. So yeah, I would be interested. I'm a little sad that it's not going to be Ben Kingsley. I really wanted Ben Kingsley to secretly be the Mandarin the whole time, because the only saving grace of Iron Man 3 was Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin.
You know, though, that blew up in Marvel's face so badly. Disney and Marvel are very good at saying that doesn't work. We need to make that disappear.
We've retreaded this argument many times
Yeah.
of we're just not going to talk about Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
The
we're not going
only-
to talk about the Inhumans. That's going to go away.
Yeah,
now.
the only thing that lives on from Iron Man 3 is the rescue armor.
Yeah. We've already tried this. I won't go into it again. I don't think they'll do the whole Ben Kingsley thing again, because that's going to stir up.
Oh, but he was so good.
That pissed me off. I really wanted him to be.
Yeah,
And then it turns out that was one of the biggest key things that killed me in that movie. It was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is what you're doing?
Yeah.
You're taking one of the best villains, the
Like,
main villain for Iron Man?
First off, one of the best Marvel villains, acted by possibly one of the best character actors alive on Earth right now.
Total waste.
Yeah.
Total waste.
Like,
It was the same thing with Eccleston when they did Thor and the Dark World.
yeah, like you have Christopher Eccleston, who's an amazing actor,
Yeah.
and you're gonna put him in elf makeup and
Give him a dialect that nobody can understand. It's like,
Yeah.
what? What the fuck is this? You could have put anybody in that suit
Yeah.
and done that. Yeah. So Marvel has made their mistakes, but I will give Marvel credit, and as I've said before, they learn from their mistakes and they move on and try to correct them. So it could be worse. They could just continue to keep doing what they're doing, and Marvel goes, well, that didn't work. All right, let's move on and try this now and go. And I give them credit for that. So, anyways, the power broker thing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see. There's so many things that it could be.
Right.
So
Because now, as of episode 4, the scientist who re-engineered the super soldier serum is dead.
Mhm.
All the unused vials are gone. So the super soldier serum lives on in John Walker and the Flag Smashers, which means capturing them now becomes a priority.
not necessarily, because that serum is also in Bucky. There's
No.
the Russian version of that. serum.
No. This is a different version.
Yes. Well, he said that he specifically said that his serum was going to be more fluid, more unique. It didn't need machines or anything like that.
It didn't need machines, and it didn't alter the body.
Mhm.
Like Steve Rogers, when he got the serum, it bulked him up, it
Yeah.
made him taller. The Flag Smashers look exactly like they looked before they got the serum.
Yeah.
It just made them super soldiers.
See,
So-
here's the thing where this all ties in, because you have Thunderbolt Ross and the Thunderbolts, and we know the Thunderbolts are coming. Disney has said the Thunderbolts are coming.
Mhm.
So, and Thunderbolt Ross also hates superheroes unless he can control them. That is his ultimate goal, is to have a military-controlled superhero team to do what the military wants to do.
Right.
So to get that, he's going to have to get people like Baron Zemo, the Abomination from the Hulk movie, which has been left off in limbo somewhere. You've got all of these characters that they can pull in to do that, and that's
Right.
what Thunderbolt. Because Thunderbolt Ross is also partially in development for the reason why Wolverine existed. He was also behind the Weapon X program.
Right.
And I believe in the Thor movie, he pulls out one of the vials, and it actually says on the bottom of it's got some code numbers on there that reference the Weapon X program.
Yeah.
So that's like Thunderbolt Ross wants that serum to be able to create his own people that are controlled by the government.
Right.
It's going to be Marvel's equivalent to Suicide Squad,
Mhm.
is what it's coming to.
Which kind of was what the Thunderbolts were.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to see where that's going to go, especially now. Again, I want Zemo. I want Zemo. I want Zemo. I want more of this character.
Oh yeah.
I really like the guy, you know. Plus, again, like when they're on the plane, they're talking about the record that what the heck was
Trouble
it?
Man by Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, and he's just there like, oh, it's a fantastic record. It's blah 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 blah. And like Falcon looks over at him. He says he's out of line, but he's not wrong.
Yeah, he's not lying, but he's not wrong.
Yeah, you know.
Oh.
He's got the best lines in the whole show. He's got the most class, the most style.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a dude that I like. I just like everything about this character. He's so well done. It's like, oh, if you kill this guy off, I'm going to be pissed. You know?
Yeah.
Because it's not just a hollow. That's one of Marvel's biggest problems is the villains have always been kind of hollow. They're one-dimensional.
Hmm.
You know, this is the first real villain that we've had, arguably. I'm going to get probably some hate mail on this, but this is the first real villain that's really defined, that really goes into depth, and you actually like him. Like this whole show, like even the leader of the Flag Smashers.
Yeah, Loki. Loki was the first.
Okay, Loki, you're right. Okay, I stand corrected. Loki was another character that they made so much that they're giving him his own show.
Yeah, I was going to say, Loki was the first villain.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
He was the first frenemy villain.
So, yeah. Yeah, I love the direction that Disney is going in with these. And even my wife has said it, that I really enjoy the long form shows as opposed to the movies because you get more out of it.
And I enjoy the weekly breakup. I enjoy that we watch an episode, we have a week to digest it, and like talk about it. And like I like at 10 o'clock in the morning, after I watch the episode on Friday, I'm on Messenger like, okay, which one of my friends has watched it? Because I need to talk about this shit and I don't want to spoil it. And like you've seen in the messages chat with the two of us and Jake and Tom, it's like, okay, who's seen it? Because fuck.
Everybody will be like, I haven't seen it yet. I'm like, okay, we'll wait until you've seen it and then we'll talk about it.
And then we got to discuss. I love that. Like that. Honestly, that's the only TV I'm watching right now. I'm watching Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. I'm watching this, and that's it.
Watch Invincible.
Yeah, I will have to sit down and watch Invincible. So that seems like a good place to wrap this up. So without further ado, I'm John Patrick, the Master Control Program.
And this is Rojen.
And end of line.
Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
Sherman? Forget it, he's rolling.
It ain't over now.
So, what's the plan? Take car, go to Mum's, kill Phil, grab Liz, go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, and wait for all this to blow over.
Might as well write him off. Let's close up the bridge. Let's get out of here. Close it up. Lights out.
Where are you headed, cowboy?
Nowhere special.
Nowhere special. I always wanted to go there.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
All right, come on. Nothing to see here. Please disperse. Nothing to see here, please.